child gets a report from the nursery. They don't think the kid's hearing. They're sent to you. You confirm it. So the kid has a little hearing in one ear, maybe at 50 decibels, questionable at anything in the other ear. From your point of view, you did that. What do you think will happen to that kid? There's 50 decibels maybe in one ear, probably no hearing. How would you approach a problem like that, you think? Seem that's being approached.
Well,
thank God, not a common problem, but it does happen.
Well, from here, the first step is always to go to a pediatric ENT to conclusively rule out the possibility that there might be something treatable or temporary that could be impacting those test results and making them worse than they really are. Once that's been done and the determination is made that it's a hearing loss that's permanent in nature, the next first thing that must be done is to put hearing aids on that child so that sound could get in there and he can begin to absorb stimuli from all around.
The earlier you get hearing aids, the better chance a kid can develop speech. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, because infants are starting to listen and hear from the moment they're born, and actually even before. The ear is fully developed by the time, by the end of the 5th month of gestation, and babies are even hearing sounds in utero. The reason that a normal hearing child says his first word at 13 or 14 months is because for 13 or 14 months sound has been coming in, and every month that goes by and every week that goes by that sound isn't getting in is potentially going to delay that child more.
If a child is fitted for a hearing aid in the first month or two, what kind of a hearing aid? Is there a particular type one you would use in a baby over an adult?
Yes, we will always only consider the type of hearing aid that goes behind the ear. For an infant. Adults, depending on the degree of hearing loss, are often candidates for wearing hearing aids that fit completely in the ear, but that's not even considered for infants and young children.
Are there kids that you see that are perfectly normal screened in the newborn period that age of 2 have no hearing?
Actually, it's frightening how that happens. Before...
Originally, no one thought this could be. It must have been missed. Now we have proof you can have a kid born normal and at age 2, and now we're seeing that it's not as uncommon. It's not as rare as that.
I completely agree with that. I actually was very heavily involved with implementing and establishing and tracking the newborn hearing screening at the hospital where you work. I work there as well. And I worked there for a good number of years before that too. The average age of identification of a hearing loss in a young child before newborn hearing screening was implemented was about 2.5 years old. And we all were kind of walking around assuming that the child was probably born with that hearing loss. Well, now we started screening all newborns, and time after time, babies are passing their newborn hearing screening, and hearing loss is being detected 18 months, 2.5, 3 years old, all degrees of hearing loss. I have cases where a baby may have partially passed the hearing screening, let's say in the hospital, and come here for follow-up. And I see their hearing falling before my eyes in the first few months of life. So passing a newborn hearing screening is no guarantee.
Is there any, from your exposure, any reason why this is happening? Do you know why?
There's a lot of research going on these days in genetics. And we are discovering that more and more hearing losses that in the past were referred to as unknown etiology, we don't know where they come from, are in fact based in genetics.